Welcome to Discovering. Tonight we're in the woods and on the water. First, some morel mushroom hunting tips with expert mycologist Nathan Wright.
I like to look at it from different angles so I could get my eye trained.
And some keep it simple fishing with the bucket boys.
We've probably been out 10 minutes, haven't caught anything.
So sit back and relax. It's Monday night and it's time for Upper Michigan's very own Discovering.
The secret streams that flow beneath the cliffs of colored stone. Forest thick and healthy with birch and pine and oak. Surrounded by the greatest lakes this world has ever known. The black bear's awesome presence as he roams the hills and fields. Call of the timber wolf, the loon's lonesome trill. The eagle soaring high above, the trout lies deep and still. These are what I treasure, the only way I measure feelings that I have for this fine land. There is so much to discover when you're a long-time lover of northern Michigan.
From the thrill of the hunt to the frying pan, morel mushrooms are a favorite of many a youper. I met up with certified mushroom expert Nathan Wright, who shares a lot of tips while we wandered the woods in search of the state's most loved fungi.
It's like you're in a different universe every half hour, like this, the way the sun moves. So you might not see a morel in that one spot, and then a few minutes later, the sun angles a different way and you go back to that spot, you're like, hey, there's a bunch of them right here. I walked right over them. That's a very typical thing that happens. That's why it's really great to be out here when it's cloudy, because you don't have those really strong shadows that you have when the sun's out. Things look black. When the light is diffused, when the clouds are there, optimal time to be out there, for sure.
It was a bright sunny day, so we had our work cut out for us. But I knew Nathan would put us on some mushrooms.
I was one of the first people certified mushroom expert in the state of Michigan when the program first started. I'm very proud of that. And I also love to teach. I educate people. I travel around all around Michigan and actually all around the country, and I teach anything from mushrooms to indigenous herbalism and basically anything pertaining to Native American perspectives. So after a rain, and herbalists do this too, we try to come out after 10 o'clock because it's a little bit more drier. Obviously, if it's a Saturday morning and you have a lot of competition, that rule probably doesn't apply. But generally speaking, when it's drier, you're able to see a little bit more. Right now we had some rain here last night, so the leaves are a little wet, so there's kind of a blending in of the darker colors, so it makes it a little bit more harder to find the morels. So we're in an aspen forest, and the aspen trees are the best place right now to look for a morel mushroom. Morel mushrooms grow in a lot of different places, but they're more concentrated here. I have seen them underneath maple trees. I've seen them underneath ash trees. I've heard reports that they've been found underneath conifer trees. Matter of fact, there's a morel mushroom called the burnsite morel mushroom that grows where pine forest or any type of conifer forest where they had a fire, within a year or two, you'll find those mushrooms. We're in a spot right now, and I like looking for this type of scenario where you have a bunch of these trees. Most of these are bigger trees, they're bigger aspens, probably about a foot in diameter, and they're clumped. Usually if I see 4 or 5 together, or even 3, like they're close together within maybe 5 or 6 feet, I would look right there in the middle. Those have been good spots that I've been finding lately. I love adventure and I love the UP. My family is from this area, from Sault Ste. Marie. I'm a member of the Sault Ste. Marie tribe of Chippewa Indians. And we have lots of roots. And it's just really awesome to be out harvesting in an area where your ancestors harvested from. It's an honor, actually. All right, success. Our first morel that we have here, we have a group of them. And before I pick any, what I like to do is I like to walk around to train my eyes. Like I like to look over here, okay? And I just focus on them just for a few seconds. There, okay, got that? And this is very important to do. You will have more success when you train your eyes. You don't know how many people will walk over a morel mushroom and have no idea that it was even there. So this one, I normally would let that grow a little bit more, but because morel season's just started and I know there's gonna be a lot of people in this area, I might go ahead and take it. So you wanna cut at the base, never pull it out, because this is actually a fruiting body of the mycelium. And the mycelium, it's not a root network, but it's basically the body of the mushroom, and that's underground, and who knows how big it is, but this is just one of the fruits. So you wanna cut it at the base so that can grow. There's it's called a sclerotia that's underneath there, and you don't ever wanna pull it out. And you wanna take that and then put it in the bag. We prefer using little net bags like this because we want the spores to fall out and help populate the area. So that's why we use the net bag. Now you could use like a potato onion sack would be good. And the reason why we know this is a morel is because, for one, the cap is attached. You see how it's attached? And then if you split it open, it's hollow. So that's when you know it's a morel. Now there's another morel that actually has a skirt that goes down it. It kind of comes down, but it's still hollow in the inside. That's a real nice size. That's a really great size for being edible right there. This is about maybe 4 inches in height. Okay. And the other thing I like to look for too before I get up on a site, whenever I find morels in one site, I look all around. And then I also, the other thing, the spores are like a river. So if there's spores here and then goes downhill here, I would want to look over here, over in this way. You would be surprised how many times you'll find like a river, like the morels will send their spores down a river, down a hill, and then you'll run into a bunch of morels. The other tip that I like to look for is underneath the trees. A lot of people ignore looking underneath trees like this one. It's dark and there's shadows in there, and typically a lot of people will walk by those and not even look. And because it's a tree, there's moisture that's on the tree, and that's dropping droplets of water into the ground, which is helping feeding that mushroom, that morel mushroom, and making it grow. So don't forget to check underneath the trees. There's actually a couple different types of morel mushrooms. You have your black morels, your yellow morels, your white morels, your gray morels.
And then there are what is known as false morels. We found one type of false morel in the woods.
This is the big one that is, it has been considered controversial with some people, but this is right here a false morel. A little bit older, obviously the bugs got a hold of it, but this one is also known as beefsteak. And there's a lot of folks that I've met in the UP, especially some of the old timers, they absolutely love this. They ate this, and it's toxic. There's a certain ingredient that's in there that if your body consumes enough of it, it can be deadly. Now, I've had these conversations with some of these old timers out there, and they're like, I've been eating mushrooms for such a long time, that's never happened to me. And apparently, you know, I guess for some people it hasn't, but you could tell it's a false morel simply by its shape. It's big. This one actually detached. And this is absolutely positively not a morel. And please do not eat it. Oh, we got a little grub there. These little things, they'll also get your morels as well. And if you have a garden and you want to get rid of these things, put a little cap of beer next to it and they'll go right into it. Yes, yes, there we go right there, look. Shh. I always tell that to people, and here I am yelling out. I always tell people, be quiet, never yell out, because there might be someone on the other side of the hill. We got a bunch right here. Sorry, buddy. If you wonder what gets some of these little snails or grubs, again, we're gonna cut at the base. This is a nice size one. Nice one. Notice how the cap is one piece. Perfect morel. This is a type of morel that likes to hide from you. Look underneath these leaves. See the moisture? That's exactly what I was talking about. That's why the leaves help out. They create that condition. There should be a lot more around here. It's a nice thick one too. Beautiful. This is a nice one, you guys. This one is, you know, there's my hand. I got fairly big hands. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now I'm looking for more. So this one right here, we're gonna have to get like a bigger knife. This knife's too small to cut this. Look at that. We've been blessed. We have to thank the mushroom gods. We've been blessed. I'll let you find that one.
I found it.
Okay.
I've seen it. This one was hiding under a fallen tree, just like Nathan's tip.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We are being blessed.
And we weren't done there. Nathan showed me his secret spot where he has found some large black morels in the past.
Ah! The mushroom gods have blessed us. Look at this. Lo and behold, that is a very, very, very large black morel. And I'm very thankful to be honored to harvest it. Because we're in a maple forest right now, this beautiful, gigantic morel, how did it get into the forest, a maple forest? So I looked around, and I'll share that with you in a minute, my theory on it, but let me get this. There's two other ones right nearby. Let's put that in the beautiful bag here. Shake it so some of those spores fall out and maybe give us more for next year. Look at that. So beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And you see what's left here, that's what you want. You want that there. Never, ever pull a mushroom out. Now, my theory I was saying about why these are here near maple trees probably has a lot to do with this tree over here. This is an ash tree. And the ash trees all fell. They all died. There was a bug or something that killed them. And I used to find yellow morels, guaranteed, 1 out of 10 of these big ash trees, I would find guaranteed at least one giant yellow morel. So what I'm guessing is even though this tree has died, this ash tree, there's still remnants maybe in the roots, maybe part of them are still alive, and for some reason that morel is still there with it.
We do some more exploring and foraging with Nathan Wright again on next week's show. Nathan regularly teaches classes on mushrooms, indigenous herbalism, and permaculture throughout the UP and Michigan. You can find details by visiting his website, herballodge.com. Switching now from the woods to the water, I joined the Bucket Boys for an evening of early season walleye fishing. On the boat are Hunter Swanson and Isaac Olson. In the other boat are Troy Smith and Hunter Smith, father and son. They warned me they didn't have big boats, but who says you need a large boat to catch fish?
You get a fish on and you start winding it in, the whole boat's spinning around doing 360s. Gets a little crazy. I've had a pretty crazy opening weekend. First day I fell off my boat, fully clothed with jeans on, boots, a hoodie. I was standing on the deck up there. So that was fun, went right in because a big wave hit me and my boat tilted over and just spit me right out. And then the second day I hooked my finger on a bass. I grabbed it by the mouth with the lure in its mouth and it shook and got me in the finger. So I had to push the lure out and through and clamp the barb and pull it out. So that was pretty fun. But we've been catching quite a bit of fish. We got limiting out most days.
Noticeably absent are any electronics. All you need are a few rods, a couple of rod holders, and planer boards and Rapalas. I like how they're keeping it simple.
There's a fish right there. I'm gonna take the motor, Isaac. I mean, you can usually tell if it's a walleye or not just by if it's fighting a lot.
What's that one doing?
This one's fighting pretty good, so it might be I'm thinking it's a smallmouth bass. Pike. You know where a pike goes to college? No. Northern.
And by the way, today is Hunter's birthday, which he forgot about when we made a plan to fish today.
They're singing happy birthday.
I was wondering what that was.
Yeah, this is really good fish habitat though in here. This stuff right here it's called water and they just live in it, I guess. He didn't believe it either when I told him that they were in here. Hey, Isaac?
Fish living in water? Really?
It blew my mind when I heard it for the
Could have
first time.
fooled me.
Something on there. Oh, there might be something on this one too.
Hey.
You want a captain? Probably another pike. No. First smallie of the day. Nice little smallie. It's about the typical size they get in here.
Hunter said this lake is all about quantity over quality of fish.
Bass and everything, they don't get too big in here. I don't know if it's because there's too many fish and they're just getting cropped off or what.
This is a big secret that nobody knows about, but if you want to catch walleye, you got to bring snacks. The fish like it when you bring snacks.
Someone forgot to tell the walleye we were doing a walleye fishing story.
I'm just the driver. You were supposed to catch all the fish.
From the guy that supposedly limited out a couple days.
It might have happened, but...
Isaac had to leave, so we picked up Hunter Smith back at the dock and left Troy to talk to himself in his boat.
Name's Hunter Smith, part of the Bucket Boys. Just graduated high school last year, so I'm kind of getting into hunting and fishing more. I did a lot growing up, but kind of going full force into it now, so I'm looking forward to spending time with all the guys and having fun.
Who are the Bucket Boys?
Well, we've known each other forever. Troy Smith, my dad, Hunter Swanson.
Me?
He's like my older brother. And Isaac Olson, who's also like my older brother, and then myself, Hunter Smith. We've been going to camp forever, so we just got together and we said, hey, let's just start this group and do whatever, film videos of us in the woods and having fun. And we ended up making a couple TikTok videos and they blew up and went viral, so.
I wouldn't say viral.
A couple 100,000.
They're doing pretty good. We got a few good ones.
It was kind of cold out, and it has been for a few days, so we figured that must have shut the walleyes down.
Oh, that's a fish.
Come on, walleye.
Yeah.
I was hoping for at least one walleye for Hunter's birthday, but it didn't happen.
Nope. I didn't even know they were in here.
We figure his secret walleye fishing hole is safe.
We need to sell our boats.
Yep.
Take up
1984 SS Katie.
Thanks, guys, for all the laughs and a fun evening of northern pike fishing. That's all for tonight, and I hope to see you right back here next week for Upper Michigan's very own Discovering.
That was a good eater too. What are you doing? That's about the only thing we could catch today, and you let him get off.